How I help estate agents and IFers get referrals on autopilot using physical mail. Picture this. You've just completed a sale for a client. Smoothest transaction you've had all year. They're over the moon. You're over the moon. They shake your hand or send you a glowing message and say, "We'll absolutely recommend you to everyone we know." And then, nothing. 6 months go by. No referral, no introduction, no call from a friend of theirs asking for your number. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. It's not because they lied. It's not because they don't like you. It's because you went quiet. And in the absence of any reason to think of you, they didn't. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to fix that. Not with awkward asks, not with incentive schemes, with a simple, elegant system that keeps you front of mind and turns your happiest clients into your most reliable source of new business. I work with estate agents and professional service firms using a framework called the Growth Blueprint. 8 growth levers, 3 units of your business. And today we're going deep on the one lever that transforms good businesses into great ones. Orchestrated referrals. By the end of this video, you'll have 5 specific, low-cost ways to stay front of mind with your existing clients. A simple phrase that triggers referrals naturally, the single best moment to ask for one, and a system you can start implementing this week. Let's go. Most business owners assume that doing brilliant work is enough, that happy clients will refer spontaneously. Some will, but most won't. Not because they're ungrateful, but because life is busy, memory is short, and unless something reminds them of you at exactly the right moment, you simply don't come to mind. Your client isn't thinking about you on the day their colleague mentions they're thinking of moving, or on the evening their brother-in-law says he's never really had a proper financial review. Those conversations are happening all around your existing clients, every single week. The question is whether you're the person they think of when they do. Here's how referrals actually work. 3 things have to happen in sequence. First, your client has to notice a relevant conversation. Someone mentions they're thinking about selling, or that they're worried about their pension. That's the trigger. Second, they have to think of you, not your competitor, not a vague memory of someone they used once, you specifically. Third, they have to introduce you into that conversation. Actually say your name, pass on your number, send the message. Most businesses leave all 3 of these entirely to chance. The ones that grow consistently engineer all 3 deliberately. So, how do you do that? Before we get into the system, let's talk about timing. Because this is something most estate agents and IFAs completely miss. There is a window, a golden window, and if you don't act inside it, it quietly closes. Your clients are most likely to refer you right after the transaction completes, right at the moment of peak satisfaction. For an estate agent, that's completion day. The moment the keys are handed over, the week after move-in when everything has gone smoothly and your client is sitting in their new home feeling relieved, excited, and genuinely grateful. For an IFA, it's the moment a client sees their first annual review and realizes their finances are finally working for them. Or the moment you've guided them through something complicated and they come out the other side with clarity they didn't have before. That moment of peak satisfaction is your referral window. Most businesses miss it entirely. They finish the transaction, send the invoice, and move straight on to the next client. The client's gratitude peaks and then fades. Life moves on. The window closes. The simple fix: build a step into your process. 3 to 5 days after completion. Call your client, not to sell anything, just to check in. Make sure everything is brilliant. And somewhere in that conversation, naturally, warmly, "I'm really glad it all went so smoothly. By the way, if you ever hear anyone talking about making a move, I'd love it if you'd think of me. And if they'd like it, I'm happy to send them something useful in the post. Just pass on their details and I'll take it from there." You've made it easy. You've made it timely. And you've given them something concrete to offer the person they're referring. Not just a name. A gift. Here's exactly how that plays out. Your client hears a relevant conversation. A colleague mentions they're thinking of selling. A friend says they've never really sorted out their pension. Your client thinks of you. And instead of just passing on your number and hoping for the best, They do something better. They give you a name, an address, a bit of context. My colleague Sarah is thinking of selling in the spring. I told her you're the person to call. Her address is... Now here's where most people drop the ball. They wait for Sarah to call. Don't wait. You take that information and you reach out first. You send Sarah something, a book, a short printed guide, a copy of your monthly house prices report, something genuinely useful with a handwritten note that says, "Hi Sarah, my client mentioned you might be thinking about making a move. I thought you'd find this useful. No obligation, no pitch, just something I put together for people in exactly your situation. If you ever want to chat, I'm here." That's it. Sarah hasn't asked to hear from you, but she's received something warm, something thoughtful, and something that came via someone she trusts. She already likes you before you've spoken a single word. That's an orchestrated referral, not a name passed on and forgotten. A warm introduction backed by a physical gift that starts the relationship before the first conversation even happens. For IF as it works identically. Client mentions a friend who's just come into some money and doesn't know what to do with it. You get the name and address. You send a short, plain English guide. Understanding your options. A no-jargon starting point for anyone thinking about their financial future. Handwritten note. No pitch, just value. The gift doesn't have to be expensive. A well-produced printed guide, a useful checklist, a short book. Something that costs a couple of pounds to produce but carries enormous perceived value because it arrived unexpectedly and because someone they trust sent it on your behalf. Now, a lot of estate agents and IFAs feel awkward about asking for referrals, like they're asking for a favor. Flip that thought completely. Think about the last time you recommended a brilliant restaurant to a friend, and they went, loved it, and sent you a message saying, "That place was incredible, thank you." How did that feel? That's the feeling your clients want to have. They want to be the person who connected their friend with someone brilliant. That's not a burden you're placing on them. That's a gift you're making it easy for them to give. Your job isn't to ask for a favor, it's to make the referral so easy, so natural, and so obviously the right thing to do, that it happens without anyone feeling awkward about it. Right. So how do you stay front of mind between transactions so that when that conversation happens, your client actually thinks of you? Here are 5 options. Physical, tangible, consistently delivered, and every single one carries a version of this line. If you ever hear someone talking about moving home, I'd love an introduction. Or, for IFAs, if you ever hear a friend say they're not sure their finances are working as hard as they could be, pass on my number. Happy to have a no-obligation chat. Now, you don't need to do all 5. You don't need to do 3. Pick one, maybe 2 if one feels like a natural fit alongside the first. 1 touchpoint done consistently beats 5 done sporadically every single time. Here they are. Number 1, a monthly helpful newsletter, posted, physical, not an email. A real newsletter, printed and posted to your top clients every single month. An estate agent might include a local market update, a recent success story, a tip for homeowners on maintaining property value. An IFA might include a plain English breakdown of something that's changed in the financial world that month, a reminder about tax allowances, a short Q&A. The key is it's helpful, not promotional, not "look how great we are," just "here's something useful for you this month." And at the bottom, quietly, consistently, that line. Plus a note. I've got a few copies of my free guide on X if you'd like one to pass on to a friend. Physical mail gets noticed. In a world where the inbox is a war zone, something that lands on the doormat gets handled. Put on the kitchen counter, kept. Sometimes passed around. Number 2, a monthly postcard. Simpler, cheaper, 1 striking image on the front, a short warm message on the back, your branding, and that line. For an estate agent, a beautiful image of a local street, a recently sold property, a seasonal shot of the area. For an IFA, a clean, confident design with a single, useful thought. Markets go up and down. Your plan doesn't have to. The postcard can tease the gift, too. P.S. I've just put together a short guide on the 5 things every first-time seller needs to know. Drop me a message and I'll pop one in the post. Postcards have an open rate of 100%. Nobody throws away a postcard without reading it first. And if the image is striking enough, some people pin them to the fridge. That's your brand on someone's kitchen wall every single day. Number 3 and 4, a monthly house prices report or a financial snapshot. Pure gold for estate agents. A simple one-page summary of what's happened to property prices in your local area that month. What's sold, what's sitting, what the trend looks like. For IFAs, the equivalent is a monthly snapshot. FTSE movement, interest rate news. One thing clients should be aware of this month in plain English. You're not just staying in touch here, you're positioning yourself as the expert, the person who knows, the person worth listening to, and the report itself becomes the gift, something worth keeping, something worth passing on. Feel free to share this with anyone you think might find it useful. That one line turns every report into a referral vehicle. Number 5, local events postcard series. Underused and brilliant for both sectors. A postcard promoting a local event, a community fair, a charity fundraiser, a local market, a school fete. Your branding on it, a short, warm note from you. Thought you might enjoy this one. And if you're bringing friends, I've got a little something for anyone thinking about making a move this year. You're not talking about mortgages or property or pensions. You're being a neighbor, a person, not just a service provider. That kind of warmth builds the sort of loyalty that makes people not just stay with you, but talk about you. So, 4 options. Pick the one that fits your business, your budget, and honestly, the one you'll actually do. A postcard you send every month beats a newsletter you abandon after 2 issues. Consistency is everything. Choose the one you can commit to and start there. If it's working after 3 months, consider adding a second, but only then. The one thing to do this week. Don't try to build the whole system at once. Start here. Write a list of your 10 most recent completed clients. Estate agents, that's your last 10 completions. IFAs, your last 10 reviews or onboardings. Now ask yourself honestly, did you follow up with any of them 3 to 5 days after the transaction? Did you check in? Did you open that referral conversation? If not, that's your starting point. Pick up the phone this week. Not to sell, just to check in. Make sure everything is brilliant. And then, naturally, by the way, if you ever hear anyone talking about moving, sorting their finances, I'd love it if you'd think of me. And if they'd like something useful in the post to get them started, just send me their details and I'll take care of it. 10 calls this week. That's the whole task. Now, if you want the full system behind everything I've talked about today, the complete growth blueprint is available as a free download. Link is in the description below. It covers all 8 growth levers, including the full referral system, the before, during, and after framework, and how to apply every single one of these ideas specifically to your business as an estate agent or IFA. Download it, work through it, and if you've got questions, drop them in the comments. I read every single one. If this was useful, subscribe. There's a lot more where this came from. See you in the next one. Download the growth blueprint. Link in description. Subscribe for weekly marketing strategy for estate agents and IFAs.